everybody.
Welcome back to Love the Real Hills.
Welcome back.
We are in the house tonight and we are ready.
Wow. I hope you're ready for your daily dose of the realness, 100% uncut, alive. My name is Chris. This is my wife.
And I'm Renee Hill.
And we're so excited to have the opportunity to come with you. We love each other. We love the Word. We love God. We love His church. But we love people. We love the real. And we are the Real Hills. And we are ready for you tonight. We're so excited. We want to thank you for following and subscribing. We're watching our numbers go up and up. It's so great to hear from you. Please take a moment to just click the like button. Do us a favor and subscribe. Even if you could share this tonight's subject, babe, we're really getting into it tonight. I think
we're jumping in. So we're going outside of our normal, normal structure for the show. Normally we come on, we do X, we play games, and we're going to get back to that next week.
Okay.
But this week, this topic that we got pretty overwhelmingly from multiple people this week. We've also been seeing this topic come up a lot in other media avenues.
Right.
We've been getting calls,
right.
We've been getting questions, and so we just want to be able to take some time and really dig into this. So we want to jump right into our topic for the day.
You know, this is, particularly with my practice as it relates to consulting with leaders, politicians, pastors, evangelists, writers. This has been it. Okay, for the last 6 months, my life has been right here in terms of watching how relationships are crumbling. And very often we're a crisis counselor. So we jump in to help people when they're in crisis and to walk institutions, walk campaigns, walk churches and not-for-profits through it. But this has been the prevailing question. And so let's do the question.
Okay, so the question is, why aren't
you go ahead.
Modern relationships working?
Why aren't modern relationships working? We're hearing this everywhere. It's coming from my church side, my business side, my political side. It's the scream, and modern relationships in all colors. I mean, we're looking at a 58% marriage divorce rate in white communities or Caucasian communities. We're looking at a 77% divorce rate in black communities. And so when you're looking at this disparity, you're looking at all these problems. We're looking at there's some of the statistics right now is that 76% of existent marriages that are together, 76% of those are unhappy. And so we're hearing all of these things and the scream from the YouTubes to the TikToks,
yes,
to all these different things that are coming in is why aren't modern relationships working? And we want to first I want to speak to why I don't think they're working. And then let's try and do some steps forward. So we're going to take up all the time to really do this because we don't have time for games. This one is a no games. The icks are embedded, okay? There's enough icks in these 7. I'm going to give you 7. I already had 10 people send me 3 more to have 10. Okay, the people who I always send stuff out just to get it checked, they said, Chris, I could add 3 more to that and give you a decalogue. But I really want to rock with these 7, and then we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
We'll see where it takes us.
See how much time we have. But before we do that, guys, don't forget, click that button down there, like, subscribe, and share. Comment, post comments all throughout this chat. We want you guys to chime in. Tell us what you think. Give your opinions. Give more questions. Give your reason why you feel like modern relationships aren't working.
Yeah, that's good.
Get involved. We want to hear you. We want to hear from you. But we're going to jump right into this right after these messages.
Higher Level Denver is here. Join us as we go to the higher level. Higher Level Denver with Dr. Chris Hill.
But I'm about to get real free. Free in my mind, free in my body, free in my past, free in my future. I need a free person to give God a free praise right here.
We are friends of God, friends of man, and friends of humanity. Transform your life. Find your voice. Get ready to roar. Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back.
We're back.
We're so excited. It's going to be a great show. Get your popcorn, baby. Buckle in, because this is the real uncut truth. And we're going to deal with it. People have been asking us from across the country, across the world, why aren't modern relationships working? Why aren't they working? And we want to begin to answer them. This is something not just taken from my experience. I've been doing marital counseling for over 35 years. And so with that experience, but also it's a modern new world. It's a whole new situation. We're dealing with young couples all the time, young couples, married couples,
Long-term couples.
long-term living together couples.
even couples that have been married for years
Yes.
and are unhappy. And
And in some very happily married couples as well. And when you begin to compound those and really put them together, you get to see, how did we get here? And once we figure out how we got here, then how can we get better? Because we need to get better. With the statistics the way they are, with the negativity, with how it's being now popularized in popular media, so negative, such a negative stereotype around relationships and relationships in general, but African-American relationships in particular. I mean, African-American relationships right now have taken a black-eyed, no pun intended. I mean, we get beat up. We are getting beat up from Will Smith and Jada with this, what was it?
situationship.
Was it? No, it was an entanglement.
Okay.
Entanglement.
Entanglement.
Sleeping with a whole dude is an entanglement, okay? And then Keke Palmer. I mean, you can't watch the YouTubes and not see some foolishness out here, and it makes people are terrified of relationships. I'm meeting viable young women and young men who are saying, Pastor, can you just pray for me that I can just stay out of these relationship streets, because it just doesn't seem safe anymore. We want to begin to look at why aren't modern relationships working? Can I do the first one?
Okay, come on, let's go.
Okay, first one, and this is what I call, we have gender role dysphoria. We have gender role dysphoria. What do you mean, Dr. Hill? I'm so glad you asked. Is people don't know what their gender roles are in a relationship. And there's a number of reasons why we got here, how we got here. I'm not blaming nobody. I do not have a rock to throw at anybody. Jesus took all my rocks away. I don't get to throw rocks at people. I'm just saying where we are. Where we're at right now is we have a society of gender role dysphoria. And what do you mean by this? Is that people just don't know what's the man supposed to do? What's the woman supposed to do? What are we supposed to do together? And there's a number of reasons why we got there. Our gender roles used to come from our culture. They used to come from our religion. They used to come from our church. They used to come from our family. And they used to come from society, technology. Okay,
Yeah.
we live in Denver, Colorado, and babe, the people who came here were in wagon trains
Yeah.
trying to cross the Rockies to get to California. Okay, that's how they came to Denver. They came here to get to California, and the people who made it to the other side to California were the people who had men. Okay, manpower. Manpower was not a conference. Okay, manpower was a reality. If you had enough manpower, you could cross the Rockies and get to California in the gold rush. If you didn't have enough men with you, if you didn't have your wagon train, now see with modern society, a woman she can plow 18 acres of land because you have a tractor.
Yep. Tractor trailer.
A tractor will help you, okay? But in the old days, you needed manpower to do that. You needed a man to drive that mule team or those bulls. You needed a man to keep that plow head in the ground. It was literal. All those roles are changing because with technology, you no longer need a man in a traditional male role in order for us to survive. And my contention is it has caused gender role dysphoria, is we just don't know. And so men, is it the man's job to clean the house? Is it the woman's job to clean the house? Well, we both work.
And it's crazy because like, even though there's a question of what it is, it's like, that people want to define it even though they don't want to define it.
What do you mean?
Even though everyone right now, we're in this era, in this generation of undefined. I'm neither. I'm whatever I want to be. I don't have to have a gender role. I don't have to be specifically this or that. But still, yet there's still this underlying conflict of we need to define this, even though they're saying they don't want to.
Right.
The world is saying we're not going to be defined by our gender. We're not putting a gender role on ourselves. But still, yet, we are seeing constantly there's a conflict.
It's explosive.
A huge conflict with the fact that we don't know who's responsible for what and what my role is in this relationship as it pertains to my gender.
We went to a cookout. We went to a cookout or some kind of gathering. We were always at something, but we were at this cookout, and it was that we prayed. I didn't pray over the food. I don't pray over food. If you ask me to pray, it's going to be the shortest prayer in the history of the world if I'm hungry. Okay? Okay, if I'm hungry. So don't ask me to pray. I'm going to hurt your feelings. So they didn't ask me to pray, and somebody else prayed too long, okay? And then I went and sat down. I went and sat down. I found a seat and a conversation, and I sat down. And about 4 minutes later, my beautiful wife, why are you hiding? Don't hide behind that paper. My beautiful wife came with my plate, okay? Because she married a traditional, old-fashioned, Neanderthal, knuckle-dragging man, okay? And now I was sitting with a bunch of a bunch of men that.
You can't say that.
I can't say that.
No. You can't say that.
Kitty cat men were sitting next to me.
You already said it. You can't fix it
Her, and they were shocked. They were shocked and amazed because they were getting their stuff together to go get their food. And they were married men. And just roles had been, they defined their roles differently. Now, did I clown them? You bet your bottom dollar I clowned them. And in fact, I don't think I let them sit with me. I really didn't. After a while, it's because I'm from a different era. I admit I'm a Neanderthal, and I wouldn't be in a relationship where my wife didn't think there was value in serving me. as I would serve her. Okay? But that was just how it was. That's how it was.
That's how it was.
And that's our defined gender roles. And see, I think that people are trying to say that we don't have any gender roles. And then they're in divorce court. Because that dude does not feel appreciated. Or that woman feels like when she goes to make him a plate, she's acting like his slave and not his helpmeet. And I think that we just need a conversation, but we have gender role dysphoria. We're confused, and it's all over the place. You used to get your societal norms from your family. I got mine. That's where that comes from. That's from all that is Mr. Hill. Okay, that's Mr. Hill. That's granddaddy. That's my daddy. That's my great granddaddy. And if I jump on the other side, Mr. Lee, that was my grandfather on my father's side. His children called him Mr. Lee, okay? You think that he was making his own plate in the house he paid for? The devil is a lie. When your children call you Mr., let me calm down, okay? Okay, gender role dysphoria, I think it's killing us. It's killing relationships because we're just not being honest. We have to sit down, and every couple, before we say I do, needs to sit down and say, what do you feel like the role of a husband is? Okay? And the woman needs to define that. And the man has to say, I'm down with that. Or, and then the woman has to say the same thing to the man. What do you consider a wife to be? And then that man has to clearly state what he's want. And if there is disagreement in that area, hey, let's not do this. Let's not do this, because it's the dysphoria that is destroying us.
Yeah, I agree. Which brings me to my next.
Okay, you gonna do the next one? Okay, good.
I also think one of the main issues that I'm seeing with the people I'm talking to, why modern relationships are not working, is because we have a few generations of really, 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 really bad communication.
Of bad communication.
Mm-hmm. Bad communication. They don't want to talk. Everything is, I'm upset, I don't want to talk about it. I'm upset, I'm going to walk away. I'm upset, don't talk to me. I'm upset, I'm going to go in my bubble. I'm upset, I'm just going to play the video game.
What's a bubble?
It's like your world where you don't deal with anyone. You just...
Is this a thing?
For everybody has their world. Some people's world is video game playing. Some people's world is going to the gym.
Ooh.
And pounding weights for hours. Some people's bubble is...
Crack?
Drugs. Some people's bubble is alcohol. Going to the bar and drinking until they can't remember.
Okay.
Some people's drug is going out to the club and picking up some honey that they just met.
Wow.
I mean, the level of communication that I'm seeing when I'm talking to people who are in relationships and they're coming and asking questions, they do not communicate. They are not talking. Okay. They are not working through issues because they don't even know how to communicate properly.
Okay. How did we get here?
I mean, I personally think a lot of that has to do with technology. I think, texting, just social media, DMing, being able to put yourself as this thing, portray yourself as one thing, but actually living a different life. And then the ability for people to be able to communicate with you thinking you're this when you're really that. And you just kind of going along with that whole persona that you're putting out. I think that's a big issue.
Communication, the technology.
Yeah. Also, I think even parenting.
What do you mean?
I think some of the parenting has for lack of a better word, I know the generation of my parents, Gen X, some are boomers, you know, they didn't really talk a lot. They didn't really have those kind of conversations with their kids. It was just, do what I say, go in your room, go outside and play. I'm doing my thing, you do your thing. And don't get in trouble. That's all it was. It was like, go to school, don't get in trouble, but leave me alone. It was like our generation of parents were just, they were in their own world as if they didn't have kids.
Wow.
I have one of my husband, my ex-husband, my first husband, he told me every day he would come home from school, you know, and his parents, they would be in their room chilling. At 5 o'clock, they shut their door. Their food would be on the stove.
Okay.
They would make their own plate. But them as kids, they played with each other. They didn't see their parents till the next day when it was time to go to school.
Wow.
They didn't see them. And on the weekends, their parents' friends came over. They would be down in the basement with their music, having fun, hanging out, and the kids would be upstairs doing their thing. There wasn't a lot of them having those times where they're just sitting around talking to each other and sitting around, you know, telling their kids about life and future and discussing, like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? There wasn't a lot of that.
Right.
It was more like, okay, I had y'all, I'm feeding y'all, I'm roofing y'all, okay, I'm clothing y'all, but stay out of my hair. And so
Wow.
I think there's a lot of the communication issues also stems from the lack of knowledge. They just weren't taught.
Or even exposure.
Exactly.
How can, if I've never seen a positive married couple communicate, how can I learn it?
Exactly. For me, for example, I didn't grow up with a positive married couple picture. So for me, I kind of like picked stuff from TV
Wow.
or shows that I watched.
Like what shows?
Like I Love Lucy. Lucy and Ricky.
You learned communication from I Love Lucy?
No, I didn't learn communication from them, but I learned certain things in relationship from them. I Love Lucy. Lucy and Ricky fought all the time. They were always fighting because Lucy was always doing something she didn't have no business doing. Lucy was a mess.
Okay.
But Ricky would always find out, and Ricky would always confront her. And she would always tell him, yes, this is why I did it. But they would always talk. They would always end up in their room. At the end of that show, they would end up in their room, in their bed. And they had talked through why she did what she did, even though she knew she wasn't supposed to.
Wow.
And they always worked through it. And at the end, they would always kiss and make up.
Wow.
So I took that as, for me, relationship I learned from that
That's deep.
is you're gonna have conflict,
Yeah.
but then talk it through.
I love this. This
Talk
is
about
very
why.
good. I live with
and then
this.
kiss and make up.
Wow.
It's okay. But with that, we gotta take a break real quick, guys.
Oh,
We'll be
darn.
right back. We'll continue this topic. We'll see you in a second. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll be right back on Love the Real Hills.
Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver. Inspirational, motivational, and elevational. At Higher Level, journey with us in reaching your highest potential in God.
Because when you go up, I go up too. When you get a promotion, I get a promotion too. When you go higher, we started at the bottom, now we're here, where everybody's going up. I need somebody who knows I'm going up. I'm going up with my family. I'm going up with my children. I'm going up with my church. We're all going up.
Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back. This has been a great conversation.
Yes.
I love doing this show because I learned so many new things about my wife. I had no idea that I had been helped by
I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy.
Ricky and Lucy.
Because I watched that show too, on Nick at Night or something. And but I
didn't
had
get
no
that from it.
I did. I missed that revelation completely. I just thought this woman is crazy and funny, and this is the nicest guy in the world.
No, they loved each other. They really did.
They really did.
They liked each other too. They loved and liked each other. They were friends and married. And that's what I learned.
Any other TV shows just
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
influenced you?
Now that I'm
Cosby
thinking about
Show?
it, I didn't really watch the Cosbys that much.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cosby's was on cable too.
No, they were on network TV.
I don't know, maybe. I didn't watch it that much. I watched it like a few times, maybe at a friend's house, but I don't think I watched it that much. I think by the
Wow.
time it like became really popular, I was like at that age where I was in gymnastics and dance and basketball and
Okay,
this and
so you
that,
were
and I
busy
was
by then.
getting busy in life. Yeah. So, but and then too, when I would get home, it would be late at night, like
But even
by
still,
9, and it would only be I Love Lucy, Star Trek, the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, that was pretty much my show select.
Okay.
Oh, Perry Mason.
you watched Perry Mason too.
Yeah. Because those was all that would be on at night, and I would just go to sleep to those shows,
Gotcha.
on my TV.
So what we're seeing is that generation, they even exemplified communication skills between
Yeah.
married people. Whereas now, what do we have now? We have reality TV, okay, where nobody settles anything, where the fight ends with somebody throwing something in your
Blows.
face, a drink in your face, or blows, and
Yeah.
the wags is married at the wags. You know what I'm saying? It's the wives is looking down on the new girlfriend because she's not a long-term girl. I mean, we're looking at bad communication writ large across our society, and it's hurting us. Let me jump to the next one. This one's huge. This one is huge. This one is so big that a lot of my friends are saying this, who do marital counseling, have done it for decades, are saying this is the number one killer, more than infidelity, more than bad communication. I would layer bad communication under it, but this is what they're saying, that this one, it's called unspoken expectations.
Ooh.
Unspoken expectations. That is when one person in the relationship is expecting something from their spouse, from their significant other, that they have not even voiced. They have not said a word. They just expect you
to know.
to know. Somehow.
I hear that so much, and I hate when girls say that. He's just supposed to know by now. We've been together 10 years. I'm like, he's supposed to know? Y'all been together 10 years and you ain't opened your mouth and told him?
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Unspoken
It's a good one.
expectations. It's a murderer. This is a murderer of modern relationships, particularly in color. There is where you have, you want someone to read your mind. They're supposed to be able to read your attitude, read between the lines. No, I'm not reading between nothing. I'm going to read between your lips. I'm going to read between what you say, because I'm not a mind reader, and I shouldn't have to use my gift of discernment to live with you. You should be able to use your gift of communication to be able to offset it. It's one of the things I love about my wife, is something that's made our life so much easier, is because with my wife, there are no unspoken expectations. All expectations are spoken. And a lot of people have a hard time with it. They've never dealt with somebody who's just gonna lay it out there on the line. For me, it makes my life easier. I have to use discernment in my everyday job. I do not want to use my discernment at home. It's just so much easier if you want green M&Ms, just tell me you want green M&Ms, and I'll get you green M&Ms. Just make it real simple. But if you want me to somehow pull out the sky, well, don't you know that green is my favorite color? No, I don't know that green is your favorite color. I'm not going to do all this. You're asking too much. Unspoken expectations. If you expect somebody, when you come in the house, you expect the woman to come and hug you at the door, to acknowledge your presence at the door. So you don't know how many times I've been in the middle of this argument and you just walk in the house and she said, and now you mad. She been fighting with your children all day long, and she been fighting with your kids, and you had to go to work just like you, and then the dog crapped on the carpet, and then the cat has asthma, and I mean, it's bad, and now you want to come to the door and say, my king has come home. And bow down 3 times. And ain't nobody mad. Ain't nobody mad if that's what you want. But you need to say something, brother. You need to say something. And then give her the opportunity to say, you need to come back to reality. Okay? You need to have that dialogue. Unspoken expectations. They're murdering us.
They're
murdering us. I wish to God, write them down. Right, your expectations of the marriage, whether you're going into a relationship or perhaps you're already in one. But think about what have you not told that person that you really do want, that would really bless you. Maybe it's a hot bath.
That's easy. I mean, I'm the way I am because I don't want my expectations to be unfulfilled.
Explain that.
Like, I don't want you to guess because that's gonna be annoying. Like, why would you make someone who wants to be annoyed?
Speak on it.
It's annoying. Like, I might as well just tell you. So I just state what it is that I want. I just state it. I mean, it just makes my life easier.
I mean, one of the great things is you like flowers.
Yes.
But you're allergic
to most
of them. So I just asked her, what are you not allergic to? And that's what I'll buy.
Yes.
I do not deviate. I don't get jiggy with it. There was some beautiful sunflowers. One of my friends actually has a flower stand, and I was hanging out with him at his flower stand. I wasn't doing no work. I just hanging out talking, jaw jacking. And I took a picture and I sent it to you and I said, hey, baby, do you want some sunflowers? I asked her, are you allergic?
I said, very beautiful, but I'm not sure if I'm allergic. So let's just not even go there.
It's just to clear expectations. I'm not going to buy you some sunflowers and some Zyrtec. Okay? Come home with Zyrtec like an idiot. Okay? And be like, just in case, here's some Benadryl. Like an idiot. An idiot. Okay? But that's just from clear expectations thrown out there. I receive it. Good. Awesome. But our unspoken expectations are murdering us.
But that also brings us.
Let's jump to the next one.
It's not just unspoken expectations, it's also unrealistic expectations.
Say it again.
Unrealistic expectations. Now, ladies, I love y'all. I'm a lady. I try to fight on y'all's behalf.
She really is trying to fight.
But it is so hard. It's so hard sometimes because the expectations that some of you all have is so unrealistic. I just wonder if you live in the real world sometimes. Like, do you go to work? Do you communicate with people, other humans, other moms, other girlfriends, other people? Like, the level of expectation that is so unrealistic that I'm hearing, it's mind blowing.
It's
It really
bridging
is.
on
Let
delusional.
me, it's delusional. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Okay.
Help me.
Okay, a girl is 25. She works at McDonald's. Okay,
Okay.
she did not go to school. She did not get an education.
She not go to college.
Did not go to college. Okay, she is cute.
Cute.
She's a cute girl. She is. She could get, based on looks, she could get pretty much any guy she wants, probably.
Okay. All right. Come on now.
That is not a factor. However,
I want some fries with that shake.
she thinks that there's something wrong with the guys that are trying to talk to her who are bothered by the fact that she turns them down
Okay.
because they're not big baller shot callers.
Ah.
And I'm like, she thinks something's wrong with them.
For even talking to her.
No, she thinks something's wrong with them for them turning her down. They are turning her down because they're like, you don't got your stuff together. We want somebody a little more put together.
Oh, so she's hollering at 6-figure people.
Guys, or they come at her.
Okay.
It may not even be her.
So they'll see her and she's
they'll
cute.
see her, she's
so
cute.
they'll holler at her.
So like, okay,
and then
immediately
say-
they have an attraction. They'll talk to her, blah, 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 whatever. They get to know her. They start talking to her. They find out she really ain't about nothing.
Yet.
Well, not even that. I've talked to the girl.
She's 25.
But I've talked to the girl.
Okay.
Okay? She has no goals. Y'all,
She's not trying to make manager.
she not trying to become manager.
At least be McManager.
She go to work when she feel like it. She call in all the time. I'm like, what? She lives at home.
Wow.
She really, there's no drive, you
Okay.
know? So she's talking to these guys, and these guys are looking for a woman to potentially marry, to have their kids. They want someone responsible that has a sense of responsibility, a sense of something. And she will be mad that they turn her down when they find out those things about her.
So you feel like she has unrealistic
She
expectations.
thinks, she really, honestly, when she talks to me, she feels like she deserves the best man in the world that has everything to offer.
Are you saying that she doesn't deserve him?
No, but she thinks she deserves the best man that has everything to offer, even though she has nothing to offer them.
Wow.
That to me is unrealistic expectation.
I don't
How
have
do
to
you-
bring nothing to the table. I
How do
am
you
the table.
expect someone?
No, you're not.
No.
No, you're not.
You can't expect someone to have a table full to offer you. You have not one thing to offer them.
She has
but some good looks.
She got some French fries.
Some good looks, baby girl, good looks. Good looks don't get you nowhere.
Wow.
They might get you hollered at.
They'll start the conversation.
Yeah, they may start the conversation, but at the end of the day, any man that has his head on straight, that's really about something,
Wow.
he's looking for a counterpart that can keep up with that.
Wow.
And if you can't even keep up with that, your goal and dream in life is just to be cute. I mean,
Well, I got to
can't
do it. I got to do it from the men's side because men are having unrealistic expectations too. These brothers is looking for. They're looking for.
tens.
They're looking for 10s, and brother,
They
you
twos
looking
on a
for a
bad
10?
day, on a good day.
You a dime, okay? You a nickel on a good day, okay? Your fade is lopsided, okay? You got to get some dental work done. Ain't nobody mad at you. Ain't nobody mad at you, okay? Amen. But dude, you is ugly, okay? And you trying to holler at Beyonce, and you're not even ready. You're not ready for Tina Turner, and I mean dead. Okay, I mean dead. I'm not rolling. I mean dead Tina Turner. Yeah, unrealistic. If you're a 2, brother, a jump is a 4. Okay,
I mean, that's pushing it.
a jump is a 4. You pushing it at
Pushing
4.
it.
You trying to go for a 9, and then he'll hit me with this. Chris, you want me to settle?
Oh, I hate that.
Settle.
Babe.
Have you looked at you?
Babe, the settle.
Settle. It's not.
Oh,
It's get somebody on your level.
settle.
Get somebody on your level. Babe, I had a dude ask me, because you like to wear wigs, and sometimes you wear a weave, and then you have braids.
iron.
And my wife has beautiful hair, but it's always in a protective style. Okay? It's always protected. Okay? It's always protected from the elements. And every now and then when we go out, she wears her hair out, and I'm like, ah. And sometimes you even wear your fro. My wife can do a fro. She has a fro in there.
It's
Okay?
real big.
It is beautiful. I love it. But that's a lot of work. And one of my brothers, they saw how much hair she had and said, dude, you need to make her wear her hair out. I said, brother. I didn't say brother. I said, brother, do you see my hair? I am not in a position to be talking to no woman about what her hair is supposed to look like. Okay? She's living with my skin. Okay? She's living with my skin and my hair chips in the sink every day as I shave. Okay? And so I have conceded. I have conceded when she wants to wear her hair out, I have to be thankful and grateful. I married somebody. Amen. We're on similar levels. We're comfortable together, and you have to have realistic expectations. Yeah. Am I gonna ask for Rapunzel? Okay, I'm gonna ask for Rapunzel. Okay, and I'm over here shining like the sun. Okay, behold, he comes, shining like the sun. I have to be I need you to be realistic. Bring it down. You're looking for Instagram models. You're trying to holler at Playboy bunnies. You want video vixens. And that's cool if you got 6-pack abs. That's cool if you got your stuff together. But if you got 16-pack abs, okay, and your 6-pack is a keg. Okay, then come down to normal. And most guys get this as a concept. But that unrealistic expectation.
Girls don't. You hit the nail on the head, babe.
What you mean?
Because this, the levels, the 2s looking for 10s, girls do it too. And sometimes I think girls are worse. Women will be a 3.5 or 4, okay? But they refuse to get with anybody that's less than a 10, and then have the nerve to say, oh, I'm supposed to just settle. That settle thing, that's a big, I'm supposed to settle. It's not about settling, boo-boo. You're not settling, you're being realistic.
And getting
or you're gonna be
good.
by yourself.
Wow.
Trust me, I have not met a 10 yet that gets with a 2. I have not met a 10 yet that has gotten with a 2 and stayed with that 2.
I mean, you can get him. You can trap him, but he will eat his leg off
That's
and
why
get
I
out
said
that trap.
stayed with that 2.
Yeah, it's.
I've seen
it
2s get pregnant by 10s. I've seen 2s get, have kids and, get child support from 10s.
Wow.
But I ain't seen that 10 stay with that 2. I haven't seen it.
See, but it's fair.
And I don't mean 2 as in looks only. Let me be clear.
The whole package.
Let me be clear, ladies, because I don't want y'all to think I'm dogging y'all, because I'm not. I don't mean looks only. I mean everything. I'm talking about education. I'm talking about, your ability to be flexible in life, to change, to grow with somebody, your emotional IQ, your EQ level. I'm talking about can you cook? Do you keep a clean house? Are you willing to change your career when it's time to have kids? Are you willing to mold and adapt? If your husband decides to up and travel the world? Can you take those kids and now become a teacher and homeschool them so your family can stay together? I mean, are you moldable? Are you changeable? Are you willing to do what you may or may not have ever thought you were gonna do, but you're willing to do it because you love the person, you want a family, you want a husband, you want that nice house, you want to not have to worry about bills, you want to, all of those things. Are you willing to do the things necessary to obtain what it is you're trying to get? You can look like a 2 and have all that other stuff and look like an 8 to that man. And you can get you a 10. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen because what a lot of women aren't understanding, babe, is that it isn't always all about looks, because looks men get sick of that. You can be as cute as you want to be, but if you dumb, if you're combative, you're always fighting.
If he's a 10, he's had 10s.
He's had 10s.
He just didn't settle on them because everything
else was a 2.
Was a 2. It was going to be, she's fine, but she's a problem. And we see a lot of that. You see a lot of beautiful women, particularly in Hollywood, who are gorgeous and single as French toast, cannot keep a man for longer than a season. Okay, they got a different date every time they're at the Oscars. And so at that, we got to wrap up. We got 2 more to come back to. I think we got 2 more to do.
Yeah, we got some more.
We got a couple more to do.
We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, hit that bell, subscribe. Share this with a friend.
This is good.
Share this with someone you know that needs to hear this. If you got a friend that needs to hear this, that's unrealistic expectations, unspoken expectations, that is not communicating well, you know they need to hear this, send it to them. Please. Share it right now. But we'll be right back with more topics. We'll see you in a second.
Higher Level Denver is here. Join us as we go to the higher level. Higher Level Denver with Dr. Chris Hill.
But I'm about to get real free. Free in my mind, free in my body, free in my past, free in my future. I need a free person to give God a free praise right here.
We are friends of God, friends of man, and friends of humanity. Transform your life. Find your voice. Get ready to roar. Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back.
We're back.
This has been great. This is Love the Real Hills. This is Dr. Chris Hill. And this is my beautiful wife,
Renee.
And we're so glad to be here with you. This has been a great show, man. I need you to share. We need you to subscribe. There are so many of you that are watching. I need you to stop, take a moment, and just like and subscribe. We're so close to our goal for the month. We're almost there. I just need your help to push, and please share and tell somebody about it, because we want everybody to get on this subject. We want to hear from you. What are the reasons why modern relationships aren't working? What do you think? Write it in the chats. Give us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. I want to get to the next one. And I said it was going to be 7. We're going to cut it to 6.
Yeah,
we'll cut it to 6 just to make the time.
We knew we were going to need time.
I know, we knew this one. We took a whole hour on this one. And this is not this one, and this is going to be controversial. And I'm, y'all know I'm here for the smoke. I'm here for the smoke. So you want to shoot at me? Here's the problem. I shoot back. Okay, and I have the numbers and statistics. And I think one of the worst things that ever happened to Christian marriage was Christian counseling. I think that Christian counselors need to en masse jump off of a bridge for what they have done to marriage. The advent of Christian counseling, how is it we have more Christian counselors than we've ever had, and Christian marriage is in worse trouble? How is it possible that you all went to school and you all got your rinky-dink master's degrees from these rinky-dink Christian colleges, from rinky-dink professors, okay? And now you're out here in these streets trying to counsel people who are married, and you don't have good marriages. How is that possible? Physician, heal yourself. Physician, just Jesus, physician, heal yourself. Get a good marriage yourself. And we don't want to even buy your books because we end up having to throw them away before 3 years is over because you're already divorced. The advent of Christian counseling. Now, Chris, are you against counseling? Ask me, baby.
Are you against counseling?
No, I'm 100% for counseling with professionals. I would rather have an unsaved counselor who went to a decent school and has a decent education and can prescribe drugs, who can help, who can balance, who understands normal clinical procedure than to have somebody who's going to say, take 2 scriptures and call me in the morning. I don't need your pneumatic counseling. I don't want your scripture reading. I don't want you shaking bones over my head and you going to cast the devil out of my penis. The devil is, shut up. Go away. Go away. Go sit down somewhere. You're messing it up for normal people. Okay, we need people that I believe in counseling. I believe in intervention. She's rubbing my leg because I'm hot. I believe in counseling. I believe in intervention. I believe in all that. But I want Christian counselors who are realistic, who operate in this world as well as they have biblical knowledge. It's amazing to me that people will try and pray away stuff that needs counseling. And then they'll counsel stuff that needs to be prayed away. And this is the problem with the advent of Christian counseling. Here's my problem with y'all. If you're so good at what you do, how come you're not even moving the dial? If you're so expert at what you do, why is the statistics worse since we created you? A generation ago, we didn't have you at all. We had normal counselors who sat down with married couples and helped them to work stuff out. And they didn't call stuff sin that is habit. And they didn't call stuff that's habit sin. They didn't mix stuff up. They didn't bleed in their own view. And then moreover, if you're going to keep getting divorces every 10 minutes, can you just quit the field? Quit the field. Go counsel something else. Okay, I'm watching people who aren't even married, are now counseling couples in marriage. Okay, if you don't even have a bus pass, how are you going to teach me how to drive? Okay, put your bus tokens down and stop talking about stuff you don't know anything about. Now, I'm going to get to even harder. You just got married. Shut up. Okay? You ain't been through nothing. You don't know nothing. We have to learn how to be prudent. There's certain things we can speak to with our experience. There's certain stuff we won't speak to. There's certain people ask me things and say, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how. I've never had to go through that. And I'm very comfortable in saying that is beyond my scope. Let me find you somebody who's been married 50 years because I have access to them, and then we'll sit you down with them if that's something that you want to learn how to do. But I'm hot about this because it is one of the tragedies of the modern church is that we take people who have degrees in stuff, and just because they have degrees in it, we assume that they have wisdom. And wisdom and education do not always go hand in hand.
Come on.
Okay? Okay, the people that understood the nucleus and the atom created the atom bomb. Mm-hmm. Okay? So just because you have knowledge doesn't mean you have wisdom. And that's what we're seeing in counseling. Babe, you do the last one because we got to get out of here.
All right. Well, as you know, babe.
This one is my favorite.
There's another big thing, and I want to kind of hit this because I don't want it to feel like, any imbalance, but there is a huge topic of the modern relationship not working because of now we live in a generation where men and women have both have to work to survive.
90% of all couples.
90%, 10%, only 10% of couples only can live off of one income.
Right.
Because that person is in that 10% that makes a good enough living to be able to afford to have one person stay home. So, but what I see it being in, they're saying, oh, gender roles, both people are working outside of the house, so that's helping affect the gender roles and knowing who's supposed to do what and who's supposed to do what. But I think what that is doing is actually bringing in another level of expectation. It's called the unfair expectation.
Okay, so we have unspoken expectations, we have unrealistic expectations, but you're adding a third, unfair expectations. Now break that down.
Well, what I call unfair expectations is in a situation like this, because as you know, we both work.
Right.
We both work outside of the home. Do we have to? No, but we do, because I like to.
Straight up.
Okay. But
she likes to work.
We both work outside of the home, and there is no unfair expectation in our home. Okay? What I mean by that is if I come to a point in my career where I'm busy for a span of time, he's not going to expect me to go to work, come home, do all the cooking, do all the cleaning, deal with the kids, do everything on my own by myself, and go to work. But what I'm seeing right now, babe, from a lot of the couples I'm talking to, especially the younger generations, I would say 45 and under, is that we're in these relationships where they're both working and they both expect both to work because they want to live a certain way, they want to drive the certain cars, they want to live in this certain kind of house. But then when they come home is where the conflict begins, because now that male expects that woman to cook, clean, care for the children, and do everything as if she is not working outside of the home, and that woman expecting that male to build, fix cars, everything that he would be doing if he was not working outside of the home, if he was staying at home.
Wow.
And so what I'm finding is because the lack of communication is there, they're not communicating these things and creating a new system. What you have to do, and what I tell people, is you have to create a new system that works specifically for your relationship.
Okay.
What works for your world? What under your roof is your world, your spouse, your house, your kids, your life. And what they're not doing is they're not creating that new world, this new way of doing things that fits with what it is today. If you know you both have to work because you don't want to live in the ghetto, you want to live in a nice house and drive a nice car, and you both have to work to do that, great. Now let's talk about what we're going to do at home.
Right.
Okay, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I work late. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, you work late.
Right.
So on Mondays and Wednesdays, you're going to cook the dinner.
Right.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to cook the dinner. On Saturday, we're both off. So we're going to wake up together. We're going to do our little chores around the house, and let's get the laundry done together as a team. Let's pull these kids in. Let's give our kids some responsibility.
Wow.
Stop letting your kids do nothing at all.
Wow.
And putting all that stress on you. But that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother show. But we'll talk about that too. But you have to create the environment that is necessary for your world to function the way that it needs to function. And I think what is happening is
So you feel
we're
like
both agreeing.
it's an unfair expectation. If she's got to work just as hard as you have to outside the home, and then you expect her to do all the food shopping and all the cooking and all the cleaning, and you know, I and very often I deal with young couples, and they're 10%ers.
Yeah.
They're high earners, both of them. And when I say, then why don't you hire some domestic help? Well, my mama didn't need no domestic help.
Well, your mama didn't have no job. Your mama stayed
Ma-
home all day.
My mama worked.
Your mama didn't work.
She worked half part-time, and she wasn't making 6 figures.
She sure wasn't.
It wasn't making 2 figures, okay? Okay? But this is real. Is I'll meet guys who, when I say to them, why don't you hire a maid? Why don't you get a chef to come in 3 times a week? Why don't we get some help here?
No, I'd rather fight about it.
We don't fight about it.
I can afford to fix this
single
problem.
day when this is nothing. when we actually look at what it costs to have a maid come in, what it costs to have what is that? Instacart.
Yeah, Instacart shops for you.
Instacart will shop for you, and don't they deliver?
Yes, in like 30 minutes.
They deliver. Okay, so my wife says to me, honey, can you stop by the supermarket? My answer is, yeah.
Let me get my phone out.
Instacart, okay? Now, I don't mind going to the supermarket. I actually like going to the supermarket, okay? But in our house, babe, most of the dishes that are done at the Hill House are done by the Reverend Dr. E. Christopher Hill, okay? Because everybody else works outside the home. I'm at home hatching a chair on a conference call, okay? I might as well put the dishes in the dishwasher that I paid for, you know? But it's just that gender role dysphoria, it's an unfair expectation. I'm supposed to expect her to run 8 companies, come home, and wash dishes when I've been home all day? That doesn't make any sense, brother. That's an unfair expectation.
Yeah.
That's an unfair expectation. Likewise, we have to have, so let's run them real quick again.
Okay.
Number 1, gender role dysphoria. That's my number 1.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why modern relationships aren't working. A generation with bad communication skills. I know you may never have, maybe we've never seen good communication skills, but we have to develop them anyway. Unspoken expectations. Take a moment to write down what you expect from your spouse and communicate that to either your spouse who you have now or the potential person that is coming into your life. Unrealistic expectations. You need to really look at what your what is it that your bucket list or your non-negotiable list.
Yeah.
And see, is that realistic with what you're bringing to the table? Is that really realistic? And let's work through it. And then really, we need to just fire that Christian counselor. Go get you a real counselor. Go get you somebody who went to school, someone who is certified
and unbiased
and is not looking through the world through the lens of a Western Bible, okay? Because sometimes that is limited to how that is relevant to everyday life. I'm sorry, that's true. And then the last one was unfair expectations. Is your relationship being hampered? Is your relationship being hampered by just things that are unfair? That for some reason you've got embedded in your head that this is what this person has to do. You have to balance it with the realities of what life is now. We do not live in 1905. We live in 2023, and we have to bring our minds, our hearts into this modern world so that we can be successful at doing relationships today.
Yeah.
What you think, girl?
Sounds good. We are so glad that you guys tuned in. We are going to talk more about all of these wonderful things. If you guys have topics, things you want us to talk about, please put it in the chat. Send us a message. Direct message us. You can always check in on everything we're doing on Love the Real Hills on Instagram. And you can check in with us all the time here on YouTube as well. But it's been another day of realness.
Real.
Realness.
You were rough on this one.
I wasn't.
You were
I was
right in
good.
the comments because I'm trying to be nice, but she's just going for your roots. Okay,
Look, we just gotta be honest. This is about honesty and realness, people.
I love it.
We love
This
it.
has
We'll
been great.
see you
We
next
love you.
time. We'll love you. And we'll see you next week on Love the Real Hills.
The Real Hills will see you soon.